You want to start saving money? Here's how you do that in 3 steps. And in case you're wondering, budgeting is not part of it, at least not in this video. Step number 1, create a separate bank account. It's important to not use your checking account, which means to not use the account where you receive your salary or where your payments are made from. So open a second account so that the money you save is out of your sight, because out of sight, out of mind. Let me give you an example. If you like chocolate like I do and you have it there lying on the desk right next to you, it's gonna take you a lot of willpower and therefore energy to not eat it. However, if you hide the chocolate or don't have any in your household to begin with, it's not that hard to resist. And the function of the second account is to not make you resist to spend that money. Now, there are some banks that offer sub-accounts that can come in very handy. Only use it though if you can blur out the sum that you have saved, and if it's not directly connected to your card, so that you pay with a card, it doesn't take from that account, and also avoid costs of dollars or whatever currency you're in per month for the second account. Step 2, make a recurring transfer of 10% of your income right after you receive your salary. Alright, let's dig into those different parts of the sentence. Make a recurring transfer. What we want to achieve by this is to automate the process. Now, we don't want to rely on willpower, we don't want to have to remember to do it, and we don't want to make an active decision every time we receive our salary. We want to make that decision now, set up the recurring transfer once, and then the bank does it automatically over time. Now, I personally am a big fan of percentages, because if your income rises, you also adapt your savings rate. You can also choose a fixed number. I mean, you have to anyway, because you have to put a certain amount of money into the recurring transfer. Just make sure over time that if you should adapt this number. If you have a low income, make it 5%. If even 5% gives you a panic attack and you think you cannot do it, start with 1%. The amount in the beginning really doesn't matter. The most important thing is that you start. If you can do more than 10%, do it, absolutely. When I was still working full-time, I saved between 30 and 40% of my income. My personal goal is to save 50%, but in order to reach that, you either have to live very frugal, which is not my thing to be honest, or you have to have a high income. Now, the reason that I chose 10% of kind of like the benchmark is because it most probably will be as easy to live off 90% of your income than off 100%. And then the right after you receive your income part. That is a very, very, very important principle, because the goal here is to reduce friction. We don't want to rely on willpower to save at the end of the month or right before the next salary. We want to put a little part of that salary out of sight so that we don't spend it. So if it's possible for you to receive your income directly in your bank account, then definitely choose that option, because it makes it very easy. If you receive a paycheck, then immediately go to the bank with it and let the paycheck transfer to your bank account, and then you can also proceed. And finally, step number 3 is a rule. Follow one rule, and that rule is never touch that money. Do you have to budget for this process? No. Do I still recommend budgeting? Of course I do. I'm actually still doing it after 7 years. Does that make you rich? Well, that depends on your definition of rich. Does it make you sleep well? Oh yes. Of course, there is one caveat here. Don't compensate the now missing 10% from your salary in your bank account with a credit card debt. Don't do that. Rather, start with small numbers to save, increase those numbers over time, and you will quickly realize that it's absolutely possible to live without those 1 or 5 or 10 or 20 or 30%. If you found this helpful, I would appreciate it if you give it a like, subscribe for more tips on personal finance, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.